Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Happy Pride Month! In today's video, we're going to be doing something really exciting. I'm really happy to be making this video today because it is about stuff that I love so dearly. Today we're going to be talking about my June Pride Month manga TBR. I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite things to read for the month of June that are Pride related and have to do with the LGBTQ+ community. For this video, I have some of my personal favorites that I guess would be considered in the BL gay romance kind of category, and I think that there are some really cute, adorable gay romance stories here that I think that are some of my personal favorites that I would love to share with all of you. So if you're looking for something cute and fun and adorable to read this Pride Month, I have some suggestions for you. But before we go ahead and get started, make sure you go down below, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more content of mine. I'm uploading a lot more frequently. We are doing a lot more nerdy content, gaming, anime, manga, just all the good stuff. And if you like being a nerd, you're in the right place. But with all that aside, let's talk about my June Pride Month manga TBR. So for our first series that we're going to be talking about today, this is actually a little bit embarrassing because it has not yet come in the mail. I don't have it with me, so I don't have a physical copy to show y'all, but here's a photo of it now. It is Cherry Magic 30 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard. I ordered it online, it has not yet arrived, and so I am patiently awaiting, but this is a series that I could not be happier to talk about. Just reading a little bit of a synopsis about it from online from my phone. Having been a virgin all his life, after Adachi reaches his 30th birthday, he becomes a wizard. He develops an ability to hear the thoughts of other people by touching them. One day, he discovers that his popular coworker, Kurosawa, is in love with him. While dealing with the awkwardness of being able to hear Kurosawa's thoughts, rather forthright feelings towards him, Adachi comes to terms with how much Kurosawa values him and starts to develop reciprocal feelings of his own. What I think is so fun about Cherry Magic and what I can appreciate so much is these are grown adults. These are grown human beings with a 9-to-5 working an office job and who are dealing with very real and human problems. You have Adachi as a main character who has never ever been in a relationship in his entire life, and so he doesn't really know how to go about hearing these feelings that he hears now that he can hear other people's thoughts. I mean, just think about it. If you were someone in your entire life, zero romance experience, has never really been on a date with anybody, has never really had a physical interaction with anybody, if you all of a sudden heard that the hottest guy at your job suddenly has feelings for you just from hearing his thoughts, what do you do? How do you react as like a socially awkward human being? Like, what do you do to that? You're like, hey, can I take you out for coffee? Even that's hard to do sometimes. So I think out of a lot of the couples that we're going to be talking about today, I think that Kurosawa and Adachi are so well written, so well done. I think they're very cute, and I just think that the series is something that a lot of people can definitely get interested in. I know that I fell in love with them very quickly, and I can definitely see y'all doing the same, but what's also fun about this series is you get some side characters along the way that are also just as interesting, just as well written, and also have very compelling storylines to get into as well. I also highly recommend watching the anime for Cherry Magic, as well as any of the other ones that I may be talking about today that have an anime that you're able to watch. Definitely check it out if you think it sounds like something that you would enjoy. Read the manga as well as the anime. You know I always recommend to do both. Up next is a title that I actually just read recently. This is something that I have not been a fan of for a long time. I just read it like a month ago, and I have been obsessed ever since, and that is For It Nakamura. Just reading the synopsis from the back, it is Nakamura has fallen in love at first sight with one of his classmates, Hirose, but there's a problem. They actually haven't met yet, and Nakamura is a total klutz who might bungle things before they even begin. I am a sucker for relationships and tropes where it is just like one super shy, kind of like socially awkward person, and the other one is like extremely popular, extremely well liked, extremely good at conversation. I mean, as you can tell, the art style from the front is absolutely adorable. You want to know one of the craziest things about this is, to give you a kind of description of what to expect when you're reading this, is Nakamura, our shy main character, has a obsession with octopi. He has a pet octopus. He likes to go to the aquarium and see other fish and octopi as well, and he just loves talking about it. And I think that that is one of the cutest qualities that a person can actually have, is when they are obsessed with something that may be a little bit niche. It may be something a little bit that not everybody may be interested in. It's very specific, but I love hearing people talk about what they love and seeing how passionate people get about it. And I think it's a very cute moment when we see that Hirose actually completely accepts that about Nakamura, and he likes that about him. He likes talking about and hearing about what he's passionate about, what he likes. What I also think is nice about this one is we get to see the couple sort of develop just in this first volume. We get to see them go from not being really friends at all to them developing this like very cute and nice friendship by the end of the first volume, to where they are learning that they have a lot more in common and learning that they might enjoy each other's presence a lot more. I highly recommend this if you enjoy a silly romantic experience. I know for some they just prefer a straight romance, straight drama, straight whatever, just like real to life kind of thing. But if you're looking for like a wacky, zany, silly kind of romance, then this is 10 out of 10 for you. Next up, we are talking about something that I have been obsessed with for the longest time. I've talked about this for years. I'm a huge fan of the anime. I'm a huge fan of all the music that has come from this, and that is Given. The focus of this series is between our two main characters, Mafuyu and Uenoyama. Mafuyu is someone who, without spoiling too much, has clearly gone through a big event in his life and is reeling very much emotionally from this event, and he is trying to cope with it right now through music. He gets this guitar with him that he doesn't really know how to play, and so he asks Uenoyama, who is kind of like this delinquent, punkish kind of like vibe, and he is in a band himself. He's a guitar player, and so Mafuyu asks Uenoyama if he can teach him how to play, to change his strings. And at first Uenoyama thinks that he's very annoying. He's like, why do you have a guitar if you don't know how to play it? Why do you have a guitar if you can't change the strings? And as a person who tried to play the guitar at one time in their life and also could not learn to play it for the life of them or know how to change the strings, I completely relate to Mafuyu. I completely understand. But eventually Uenoyama asks Mafuyu to join his band, and that is where we get a lot of the cute moments in this series. We get Mafuyu finding his voice and finding himself again and overcoming a lot of the trauma and struggles that he is currently dealing with that you can definitely read about in here. There's plenty to go around, trust me. But you're also seeing Uenoyama, who is this, like I said, kind of punky, delinquent boy kind of vibe, really get some genuine, adorable feelings for Mafuyu. I love their vibe. I think they are very cute together. They are a very healthy and nice couple who support each other in their dreams and support each other in everything they want. And I just really think of the couples we're going to talk today, I think this is definitely one of my personal favorites. If you are a fan of music of any kind of music, this is definitely your kind of vibe, because I mean, we're talking about bands, we're talking about songs. There are actual songs that you can listen to from this series, y'all. It's good music. It's incredible. I love it. Like, obviously no spoilers, y'all, but one of the songs that we hear around the end-ish of this series is incredible. Like, it has been on a playlist of mine. It's on my phone right now. I could literally pull it up. I am obsessed. Alright, y'all. Next up is gonna be, for some, I believe, a controversial opinion. I know not everybody loves this series, so we are going to be talking about Love Stage. Here is what it looks like. So Love Stage is, I would say this is a controversial one because in the beginning the couple doesn't exactly start off, you know, the healthiest. There are some moments that are a little not great. This is also a manga series that contains explicit content, so if that's not really something that's up your alley, if you're more into the kind of less physical side of a relationship, then I would say definitely read some of these other ones. This one may not be for you, but I think that it's really nice sometimes seeing the physical interaction part of a relationship being in a manga like this. Just reading from the back again, we see, though this family is packed with famous celebrities, Izumi Sena is just your average guy. Currently a college student, he's a huge otaku with aspirations of becoming a manga creator. But one day he gets roped into filming a TV commercial and meets hot young actor Ryoma Ichijo. Not only does Ryoma remember Sena from a commercial when they were children, he's also been carrying a torch all these years for the girl he thinks starred opposite to him. What will he do when he finds out she is really a he? So the main plot of this first volume that we deal with here is Izumi when he was in a commercial with Ryoma when he was younger. They actually dressed him up in full, like, wearing a wig, full dress. So Ryoma thought that Izumi was a girl for all these years, having this idea in his head of this super pretty girl that I did this commercial with when I was a child, and eventually they reconvene to do another commercial years later, now that they're both older, and they try to dress Izumi back up as a a girl again, but then Ryoma finds out that this is actually a case where Izumi doesn't identify as a woman, Izumi is a man. I think there are definitely a lot of crazy, wild things that happen in this manga. I think the reason that I recommend Love Stage, honestly, is for two main reasons. First of all, like I said, I think it's really nice to see the physical side of a gay romantic relationship being represented in a manga. It's not often that I feel like I have personally read that, so this being one of the first that I have read where it has been shown and talked about, I just think that that's really, really great. I'm sure that there are way better examples than Love Stage in terms of physical relationships, and I would love to read those as well, so if you have any recommendations, definitely let me know. I also will say later on in the series, they actually really do get some really healthy and good communication and support of each other, and I think that that is super great. I think showing any kind of positive relationship where they have a healthy sense of communication is great, so I think Izumi and Ryoma, they may start off in a not so great place, but hey, some couples do, and that's just the real talk of it. We're looking realistic here. Not every couple starts, you know, in the land of Heartstopper, let's be real. Up last, but certainly not least, is kind of two series that I'm going to talk about at the same time because they are tied to each other, they take place in the same universe, one is a spin-off of the other, and we are going to be talking about Sasaki and Miyano and Hirano and Kaguira. These two series are both so fun. Even though both of these take place in the same universe, it's the same world with the same characters, both of these focus on two completely separate and different couples. I'll start with Sasaki and Miyano because this is the one that I read first. Sasaki and Miyano is an adorable relationship with Miyano, who is a big fan of manga and BL manga specifically, and his upperclassman Sasaki takes an interest in the BL manga mainly because he really just gets an interest in Miyano. He wants to learn about what he cares about. Reading from the back, it says, "It all started like a typical old school boys love plotline. Bad boy senior meets adorably awkward underclassmen." As we have established, this is something that I love. One of them falls in love, and so on and so forth. But although Miyano is a self-proclaimed boys love expert, he hasn't quite realized he's in one himself, which means it's up to Sasaki to make sure their story has a happily ever after. We really get to see the interesting sides of their relationship in the sense of Miyano loves these BL manga, he loves reading these stories, but he isn't quite ready to live one and experience one himself. He's not quite sure how ready he is to be in a relationship with a guy. He's not quite ready how sure he is to open himself up to a relationship with Sasaki, with someone who feels so strongly for him. Meanwhile, on Sasaki's side, it's kind of understanding and learning boundaries with people that you love and knowing that if it's someone that you truly love and they're not ready for something, then you will completely understand 1000%. We really see these two learn to love and support each other in a way that I think is super great. Definitely another one of my favorite couples on the list today. It's one of those typical high school romancy kind of, I would say this is the most similar to Heartstopper than anything else. If y'all have ever read Heartstopper before, definitely the closest in this one. Meanwhile, Hirano and Kaguira is a completely different relationship because of course we have completely different people. Akira Kaguira has decided he will marry him. Taiga Hirano roommates and the most perfect man who has ever existed. After all, Hirano's bad boy vibe doesn't really matter when he acts so sweet, like when he wakes Kagi up every morning or cheers him on when he's feeling down. So now there's only one thing left to do, enact his grand plan and overcome the first hurdle, confessing his feelings. I love these two so much. This is such a great story. I think that both of them are adorable and fun. I think what this one has going for it that's different than Sasaki and Miyano is this kind of has the whole "and they were roommates" vibe. Like, they have this very close relationship with each other that I think is just adorable to see, and also all their funny little moments of they already kind of live together and they have feelings for each other, but one of them is expressing it a little more openly than the other one, but you still live with the person, so it's interesting seeing them every day. So I think if that's something that you're into, if you're into the whole kind of like roommates to lovers, is that what it's called? Roommates to lovers kind of vibe? And this is definitely for you. I do think that it's very sweet though. And there you have it. We talked about my June Pride Month manga TBR. Here all of them are, except for Cherry Magic, still waiting on the mail. Thank you all so much for watching today. I hope that you enjoyed, and if you found any of these series interesting, interesting, definitely check them out yourself. Also, give this video a like, hit the subscribe button down below to see more content of mine. I'm going to be talking about a lot more stuff like this, so subscribe if you want to see more. Also, for this video, let me know down in the comment section below if you have any recommendations for me. I am always open to reading anything that people think is going to be amazing. Let me know your thoughts if you've ever read any of these series before and you think that they're amazing. As always, thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. So happy to have y'all here, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye! And happy Pride Month!